Over the past 125 years, there have been many persons of interest and suspects advanced by journalists, reporters, and amateur sleuths. But there are two in particular that are very interesting.
On 6th of January 1899, an itinerant man was arrested by police in the Bunya Mountains on suspicion of being connected to the Gatton murders. American Richard Burgess, roughly around 35 years of age, had recently been released from Bogger Road Jail after serving 6 months for attempting to commit assault on a 60-year-old woman.
His height, thick-set build, and moustache seemed to fit the description of the man seen at the slip rails.
Under questioning, he claimed to know the Murphys and put up a fight upon arrest, threatening to shoot the officers. Locals swore that he had been seen in Gatton on the day of the murders. Burgess, however, was mentally unstable, and despite senior police being convinced he was involved, Burgess had an alibi at the time of the murders.
One of the strongest suspects was a travelling labourer called Thomas Day. Many people in Gatton swore he was the man at the slip rails.
Workmates claimed they saw him washing blood from his clothes a few days after the murders, and he didn't have an alibi at the time, except that he was asleep in bed. He had the opportunity to slip away to commit the crime. He soon left town, signing up to join the Boer War as a trooper, and disappeared into the shadows of history. Enjoying this true crime video? I'm Jack Sim. Book one of my true crime tours at crimetoursaustralia.com.au.
The Gibney brothers, the authors of the original book on the crime called The Gatton Mystery, believed that Thomas Day warranted more research, and I totally agree. Just a fortnight prior to the tragedy at Gatton was another horrific crime.
16-year-old Alfred Stephen Hill left his home at Nunda on Brisbane's north side shortly after 2 p.m. on the 10th of December 1898 to ride to his aunt's at Redbank Plains. On the way, he delivered a letter to a family friend at Oxley. After doing so, he vanished. His concerned father went to police as this was out of character. They were less than helpful, and so for many long days Mr. Hill searched with friends to try to find his boy. A month after he disappeared, the lad's horse, then his decomposing body were found. He and his horse had been led off the Goodna Road into an isolated paddock and shot, both in the head. A man was arrested for the murder, but ultimately walked away free.
Could DNA hold the solution to this crime? The clothing worn by the Murphys was known to exist in the 1980s. It was held in an evidence room at the Ipswich police station, but sadly, it went missing long ago. I know who actually committed the crimes, and so to mark the 125th anniversary of the case, I'm going to be releasing a new book written by a local author underneath my Murder Trail series. If you'd like to reserve your copy, go to jacksim.com.au.